Imagine an island where rats reached the size of small dogs, birds forgot how to fly, and tiny humans lived in caves no taller than a child. No, it's not a fantasy novel. It's evolution, left to run wild. Welcome to the island where evolution went crazy. Islands are nature's laboratories. Cut off from the mainland, life is trapped in a small world with a limited cast of characters. Predators vanish, competitors disappear, and resources become the rules. Without rivals and without the usual dangers, evolution begins to experiment. Biologists call this pattern insular evolution. It produces two striking outcomes: gigantism and dwarfism. Small animals become large, and large animals shrink. But why? Because when the pressures of a complex ecosystem fall away, new opportunities appear. On islands, animals can occupy niches they never could on continents. Ground birds become browsers, rodents become grazers, and predators fill roles that on continents would be taken by mammals. Think of an island like a small stage with a few actors. When a new actor appears, the whole play changes. Take the Komodo Dragon, a fierce, heavy-bodied lizard that can top 3 meters. Its ancestors walked onto Indonesian islands where predators were scarce and prey plentiful. Over thousands, or tens of thousands, of generations, selection favored bigger size, better jaws, and a hunting style that made them the island's apex predator. Then there's Flores, an island with a tiny human species called Homo floresiensis. These were not fairy tale hobbits. They were real, compact humans who adapted to life in cramped forests and caves. Small bodies use fewer calories, and on islands with limited food, being small can be the difference between survival and extinction. On the same islands, animals went in opposite directions. Some mammals shrank into dwarfs to survive scarce resources. Others ballooned when the ecological checks were removed. The result is a gallery of odd shapes and sizes, nature's art show of what happens when the rulebook is folded. So how does isolation pull off such spectacular tricks? It's a mix of simple forces. 1. Ecological release. When enemies disappear, species expand into new roles and resources. A bird that once had to fly to avoid predators might spend more time on the ground, then evolve to use ground food sources. 2. Founder effects and genetic drift. Tiny founding populations carry only a slice of genetic diversity. If the first few colonizers all share a trait, that trait can quickly dominate descendants. 3. Novel selection pressures. Limited food, different climates, and fewer competitors change which traits are advantageous. Over time, these pressures produce physical changes, behavioral shifts, and sometimes entirely new species. Give evolution enough generations and a small island can sculpt astonishing biology. Animals optimized for an island life that would be impossible on a continent. History and fossils give us chapters of this story. New Zealand's mighty moa, flightless birds taller than a man, walked forests where no large mammals filled their role. Madagascar, separated for millions of years, produced lemurs in a bewildering array of forms, some as large as gorillas, each finding a unique niche. Across the Pacific and the Mediterranean, elephants shrank into dwarf forms, while islands in the Caribbean and Pacific hosted rodents and other mammals that reached surprising sizes. Some islands were factories for bizarre specialties: toothless beaks, oversized claws, silent wings. Studying these creatures is like reading alternate evolutionary histories. What life looks like if the usual pressures are removed and nature improvises. These isolated marvels were fragile. Humans arrived, by canoe, by boat, and with them came hunting, habitat change, and invasive species. Slow breeding, naive island giants were easy prey. The moa vanished after people set foot on New Zealand. Giant lemurs and dwarf elephants disappeared after human contact in other islands. The story is sadly familiar. Isolation breeds wonder, and contact often leads to collapse. It's a sober lesson. The same lack of defenses that lets strange life thrive also makes it vulnerable to sudden change. Scientists call these patterns the island rule, a principle observed again and again across the globe. To understand it, researchers dig in caves, pull fossils from peat and sediment, and read DNA stored in ancient bones. Each discovery adds pieces to a puzzle. How fast did a species change, what predators disappeared first, and which human actions tipped ecosystems past a point of no return? Imagine standing on one of these islands at dusk, the air heavy with humidity, the calls of strange birds you won't hear anywhere else, and shadows that hint at animals the size of dogs moving between trees. For a scientist, it's both wonder and warning. Proof that evolution's creativity is real, and that human choices can erase it in a single generation. Islands still teach us about evolution, but so do new kinds of islands, urban jungles, nature reserves cut off by agriculture, and small, isolated pockets of wilderness. Species adapt, sometimes quickly. Pigeons, rats, even some insects change behaviors and diets to survive in cities. Conservationists now face the inverse challenge, protecting fragile island ecosystems from our global footprint and trying to restore balance where possible. Today, conservationists try to reverse some of the damage, removing invasive predators, protecting nesting sites, and restoring native plants. It's a race against time and tides, but it shows that understanding islands isn't just an academic puzzle. It's a roadmap for preserving life's wild experiments. Our choices will decide whether these evolutionary experiments continue, are preserved, or are lost forever. So did evolution go crazy on islands? Not crazy, creative. Islands show what life can become when the usual rules disappear. From Komodo dragons to Hobbit humans to birds as tall as men, evolution keeps surprising us. If you want more odd chapters of Earth story, subscribe to the Curious Tome. There are more strange worlds to explore.